Hello, my Astro family. This is Lada from astrolada.com, here with one of your favorite astrologers, Trifon Nicole, who is sidereal astrologist. He uses the actual constellations, and he will be talking about the end of the year, November, December, the big astrological events that are happening, eclipses, and the great conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn.
Hello.
Just a second. And yeah, so he told me call it critical changes. Give the title to this video, critical changes. So I'm very curious, Trifun. And by the way, you are one of the astrologers, together with Nicola Stojanovic, who on this channel predicted that the Democrats will win. And you did it 3 days before the election, and it's turning correct so far. So thank you for joining us, Trifun. How are you?
Hello, everybody. I'm fine. So, yes, I predicted Biden for a winner in the elections. That's true. And in 2016, I also predicted Trump to be president.
Yes, you are having a great result one after another.
And without going into much detail, I saw that 2024 may be somehow more lucky for Trump.
If he tries to run again.
Yes, if he tries again. So I read something like that in the news today, that he considers second
to run again. Oh, wow.
However, this was only a glimpse. I saw something there in his chart, but right now Biden is winning. However, we will look about this. We know the important dates, but also let's talk about more general things that are important for all of us. What is going on in the heavens these days and until the end of this year? Very important things will happen. I will try to classify them. Maybe the first that will happen, so in time, this will be, so we are talking now about sidereal astrology, remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Which means that the signs that I will be mentioning, these are the actual signs with their bodies of stars, the so-called sidereal signs. And so, what is going to happen? This month, in November, 25th of November, namely, Jupiter will change sign. And what is he doing in this way? He is moving from Sagittarius, where he is now, to the sidereal sign of Capricorn, 25th of November. So I'm using specific inertia that was used in ancient times. It is according to it. So Jupiter in Capricorn, this is a debilitation. Till 25th, Jupiter is in his own sign, so he's protecting truth and honesty. Even though maybe this may not be showing like that, especially from the point of view of many people about the elections. But still Jupiter is very strong, and till the 25th of November, I can say even that the children that will be born probably will be very spiritual persons. Many of them, I mean many of them. This is so because being in the end of Sagittarius, Jupiter will be representing the sole significator planet for many of those people that will be born now. So they will have Jupiter as their sole significator planet. It's called in Sanskrit Atmakaraka
The
planet.
highest planet, yeah.
Yes, this is a tradition coming from Maharishi Jaimini. So whoever is interested in Vedic astrology will know. So here, so this is something good, right? Very precious, honest, positive, much knowing souls are appearing now on this planet. However, after that, when Jupiter enters Capricorn, this means that his good qualities will be somehow suppressed by the Saturnian energy that he will be combined with. So, just in general, for the people who are ruled by Jupiter, like the ones that have Sidereal ascendant in Pisces or Sagittarius, this mostly will be translated in tropical astrology as having ascendants Aries and Capricorn and other positions there. So such people may start to have more challenges, let's say it like that, and especially moral dilemmas. Jupiter becoming debilitated on 25th of November also shows that after this moment, big moral problems will be present for the next 12 months, for the entire world. As you see, every one of us has some position in his chart where the Pisces or Sagittarius, the signs of Jupiter, are dwelling, and those specific areas will be connected with more tensions about things ruled by Jupiter, especially morality, truth, and knowledge. And so this is one thing. Also, the meaning of Jupiter in Capricorn is about fertility.
Less fertility.
Maybe not so much less, but it's in different way, by the way. Probably you're right. Probably you're right. But the people who are born with Jupiter in Capricorn, not always, but more than others, are tending to have fertility problems. So, in this way, Jupiter in Capricorn will be showing his difficult side in different ways. The good side of Jupiter in Capricorn is wonderful opportunity about professional growth and development. So not everything is bad. Professionally is good one. Such people can be extremely, and those that are influenced by Jupiter and Capricorn will be extremely successful probably, and very professional, very responsible. All things that we need. And so this is the big change. According to Sidereal astrology, it's not so positive. On the other hand, what else will happen? The great conjunction is coming.
The great Jupiter-Saturn conjunction.
Yes, I have studied.
December 21st, right on the solar solstice, on the winter solstice.
Yeah, so I will not go too much in length in this because I think I will be commenting on this next month, much more. But let's say that the conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn, which is also called the Great Conjunction, will bring huge change in the world. Political change too. spiritual change. And most importantly, I think for every one of us, this conjunction will set a new direction in life. I was talking about this earlier this year, even making readings about this. So everyone can have some big change right now in the next 2 months. Most of the people will see the change, and the others later will realize that this was the time when the change happened.
Can you mention for the 12 signs quickly, or?
I already did in one video earlier in the year, if you remember.
Yes, you did. You did it was the beginning of 2019 video.
Yes, whoever is interested can find the video about Jupiter and Saturn.
Right, you're right.
And how it affects your own horoscope.
Yes.
So, because this conjunction is in Capricorn after all, the sign of Saturn, where Saturn is strong and Jupiter is not.
So Saturn will be way more powerful.
Yes, so I said that the direction will be towards more control
for the people,
organization over people and nations, and for the people themselves, of course. But this will be because of the presence of Jupiter in debilitation. This will be with some moral mistakes and problems. I can say big ones. So people have to be very careful about that, to go on the right path, to stay on the path of righteousness under the influence of this conjunction, because they can see how in different ways the right things, the honest things, even the moral things are being somehow smashed by Saturn, or by the realities that Saturn is imposing upon us, like material things. And something else is...
people can trample on truth because of fears and restrictions, or because of material worries. Maybe control of governments more, again, can trample truth and do some immoral things, obviously.
So I think that the influence of Jupiter over Saturn will be that some big groups of people will have a much bigger impulse to search for freedom and spirituality. Like acting like outcasts, creating their own groups and living their own ways.
Oh, definitely. I see this happening.
So this is similar to the 60s, because in the beginning of the 60s, in fact, we had this conjunction.
Saturn conjunct Jupiter. Again, it was in Sidereal Capricorn.
Yes, in the first degree.
And that's when the hippie movement appeared. I think it will appear, not maybe the same as hippies, but communities will appear, and people start trying to live separate from the system.
Yes, and the so-called sexual revolution. But also there was a lot of tyranny, big war happening, big protests because of the war, and so on and so on. So, well, this is about, as I said, a big change coming.
Well, also Kennedy was killed then, and he was for the truth, and he was to take down he wanted to take down the big secret societies and the CIA or something. And, you know, they said that he was killed, of course, by the shadow government. I'm a conspiracy theorist, so that's my view.
Yes, you can see here the logic somehow. Jupiter can represent someone who is trying to develop things, and Saturn, someone who is suppressing him.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So maybe this can be a model again. So whoever is in power in USA, I already said, must be more careful.
Mhm.
And the people who are guarding him must be much more careful, probably. So, as you see, these are huge things that are going on. Jupiter changing sign, the conjunction, the great conjunction happening. This is on 21st of December when the conjunction will happen. And apart from this, we have also many additional events, like eclipses. Eclipses are happening first, a lunar eclipse on the last day of the month. So the last day of the month, 30th of November, 2020, we will have the moon being eclipsed in Taurus, the constellation Taurus. So the eclipse will happen very close, maybe like degree and a half only, from the main star of Taurus, which is Aldebaran. Okay, so this is also close to the ascendant of USA, by the way.
Oh, yes.
Yes, so what this can mean? Usually, I think this is a sign that in the next 6 months, there can be financial crisis.
Mm.
Financial crisis can happen. Because the eclipse, we know what is going on, and the eclipse is very near. It can be easily seen how the financial crisis is on the door.
On the door.
Yeah. So literally in the last days of November and later December, January, this can be felt like from many people.
Okay, we're already in a financial crisis. So many people don't work. How much worse can it get?
I think that this eclipse can give some major movement of the market, and yes, it will be harsh for a moment, for a time, like those record falls of Dow Jones, for instance, that happened decades ago, and so on.
So you say that already from December, this is starting.
This is okay. This sometimes can be even a little earlier before the eclipse. So we are already on the path of it. And
So my sell off shares.
if you only read the news, you can see it. That, for instance, in USA, many people don't know what will happen with them on 1st of January. Because the government help will stop, maybe. Literally, this can mean hundreds of thousands of evictions orders, people going on the street without home. So this eclipse here is a sign in that direction.
Wow.
For now.
It's very similar to, yeah.
It's not necessary to go to this, but because we have enough reasons to have financial crisis even without such events. Just because of the pandemic, of course. The pandemic is battering the economic of the world. And this eclipse shows that there will be huge difficulties in the next 6 months. That's it. I will not specify now exactly when this can happen. Intentionally, I did not search the date. Otherwise, I can find it. So let's stop here. But in other moments in time when there was such eclipses, not always, but sometimes there was financial crisis, a big one. So This is one thing. And after that, also I can say the Taurus eclipse is literally endangering certain species.
Species. Oh, cows.
Yes, yes, and the domestic animals in general. I already heard that in Dane they will kill millions of animals used to produce.
In where?
In Dane,
What is Dane?
the country,
Denmark?
Denmark, yes. So in Denmark, they will be killing, I think, 6 millions
Of cows.
animals. No, not animals, not cows, but animals that they're breeding them for their skins. So maybe you missed this on the news, but this will be like mass killing.
Wow, that's sick.
Yes. So domestic animals can be, especially also the big ones like cows.
Cattle.
Yes, they can have like even diseases, including maybe the virus.
I remember when there was an eclipse in the constellation of the goat over Bulgaria, they killed our goats. They got the disease and the government killed them all. Was it the goat or something else? Yeah.
Yes. I also made a prediction about it, and it happened. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So yes, this is similar. This eclipse. After that, there will be a solar eclipse, very close to the day when the elections will have an official result.
But that's right on Donald Trump's moon, huh?
Right. In that time, 14th of December, the solar eclipse happens in the last degrees of Scorpio. So this eclipse will be in fact in culmination over Washington.
Wow. So that's kind of scary for Washington.
Yeah, this may indicate even the death of the ruler in the course of the next maybe 2 years.
Wow.
Yes,
It's
because it's solar eclipse.
It's visible from Washington.
Yes, it will be extremely visible. Total solar eclipse high in the sky over Washington.
Whoa. It can be a danger for the whole of the states.
You can see how both eclipses are somehow in connection with the United States. One over the capital and another on the rising sign.
What is the danger for the states here, especially in Scorpio? That's kind of sounds like unrest and
Okay, so the eclipse is with the stink of the Scorpion. Those stars that represent the stink. So including the main star there, Shawa, the star Shawa. So this star is said to be having the nature of Mercury and Mars. And it can have also connection even with healing. But also in my practice, this place in the sky is connected with much dangers and betrayal. So there is a danger for some kind of poisoning or betrayal of afflicting the ruler, Washington. And USA, let's not say that this is necessarily the president, but most probably.
Depends who will come in power, yeah. Who is in power then? Or both? Because it's active
Yes,
for a year.
this is for around 1-2 years ahead. So whoever is in power in that time.
Oh, I've heard predictions that Trump will win and that he'll be poisoned in office. But I don't know. For now, Biden is winning. And you think it might, yeah. Because there is still, they're saying they can still reverse something because of recounting votes or whatever. So I don't know.
On the 14th of December, there is this eclipse.
Right then on Trump's moon.
Yes, which, of course, being over his moon is not good for him because the moon. So this was one of the reasons why I predicted that he will lose. Because the moon was much involved in many astrological techniques in those times in his horoscope. And the moon is in Sidereal astrology, ruling his 12th house of loss.
But also hidden enemies. But
Yes.
he's not.
Yes. We can speculate a lot.
Yeah.
But no matter what, is the ruler of the house of loss.
Okay.
This cannot be seen with tropical Western astrology.
No, it can't, because
astrologers will not see this thing, will not think in that direction. And however, it is very obvious for me. And eclipse over the 12th house lord of loss.
It's the same with tropical astrology. The moon rules his 12th house with tropical as well.
Yes. Oh, in tropical astrology,
There's the moon, because his ascendant is
if you use whole sign system, yes.
Yeah, well, yeah, whole sign.
Yeah, then it will make sense. And along with this eclipse, there are a lot of planets in Scorpio in this moment. The moon is in Scorpio. Mercury is in Scorpio. Venus is in Scorpio. And of course, the South Node. And all those planets, they are opposing the sun of Trump.
Mm-hmm.
By sign. And but there are too many. There are too many. In my practice, when you have so many planets opposing you, this is not leading to victory.
Oh well, everyone's against him. The media, everything. It's like
yes.
People, that support him, but everything in this country is, for some reason, they, it's already opposing him.
Yes, and the sun is the ruling power, the planet of honors, ruling his ascendant, representing his power, being in his 10th house, and so on. So too many planets are opposing, unfortunately. So,
but I also think with this thing, it might be that also if Biden becomes president, that he might, and the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction, almost every time when a president becomes a president during the year Saturn-Jupiter conjunction, they die in office.
Yes. We talked about it.
Okay.
So, this is due to the nature of Jupiter and Saturn and its connection to USA. There is a specific connection. And also, this curse coming from the Indians 200 years ago. Maybe it was not a curse, but somehow their spiritual strength was able to foresee how the events will be, and they use it to say this. Just maybe. So, Scorpio Sun being eclipsed, Joe Biden has Scorpio Sun.
Mm-hmm.
And rising sign, and so this is more a sign for him.
Oh, so
than for Trump.
So they might poison him so Kamala can be in power.
Yes, I already told you that probably Kamala Harris can become also president during this mandate. Now, I think that this can happen only like year and a half after the beginning of the mandate.
Yeah, because the eclipse takes that long.
Yes, the eclipse can give sometimes even 3 years influence, depends how long it will be. So this has to be watched. But it's a clear sign. So this eclipse can give troubles even very fast. So it depends. We will look what will be going on. And so this eclipse, however, is not only about politics, about USA, but it's for the entire world and what it means. So it's not so good. Why? Because it's in a malefic sign. And it's a very malefic place in the heavens, the stink of the scorpion. So I can speculate here if I like about danger of becoming being poisoned by vaccines or the like. But I don't want to do it.
That's the scorpion is like people asking me about vaccines. What do you think?
Maybe there will be some troubles about the vaccines in the middle of December, at least, along this eclipse.
Do you think they'll be more dangerous than they're saying they will be?
The eclipse, I think, is showing that this may be true.
Mm.
They really have to be very careful about what they do, because this is the most poisonous place symbolically
In the horoscope.
In the heavens.
Well, they're pushing in for the RNA vaccines, which can scientists are coming and saying it can change your DNA even somehow. And they say we've never tried it on humans before. While they do it, so quickly, it's an RNA, it's reprogramming your DNA. It's a possibility that it can. So I don't know.
Yes, for me, it's not looking good. Definitely, the stink of the scorpion to be a sign for the times. So I think also this is a sign for bigger mortality, of course, for the next 100 days after the eclipse, following some ancient rules about such things. So the stink of the scorpion is literally the weapon of the scorpion by which he kills his enemies, right? Okay.
Shit, scary times. Wow.
So, and also, just to say it again, the astrological practice has confirmed that this place is dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this eclipse foretells political crisis, much danger of betrayals and deceiving, even poisons and poisoning in the high circles, but not only. Such eclipse can, for specific people, can make them think in such directions, of course. So these are the main things. But you know that such general things sometimes are not so important for everybody, for the common man. Many things are happening in the sky alongside those events. Many of them, and many of them are good, in fact. So let's talk a little bit more specific about what will be happening in the next days and in December in the sky. So those are the main events that I mentioned. But in the meantime, literally a couple of days ago, one of the most powerful spiritual stars became a morning star. She rised.
Which? Ah, she rised. I thought you said an
So this is the star Spica. She rised around 6th of November. So I remember that there was a lot of anxiety because Mercury rised on the 4th, on the day of the elections. But it rised in square with Saturn. So there was a lot of anxiety and nerves. And when this changed a lot, at least for many, exactly around 6th of November when Spica was rising. That's interesting. Spica, the spiritual star, rised and the things became much more clear and balanced. So now she's having very strong influence those days. So she's blessing everybody, the entire world, with more spirituality, more understanding, and kindness. Now, speaking about this moment in November, remember that when Mercury rised in square with Saturn, Saturn said to Mercury, stop counting.
And there was delays 4 days, or how many before they announced the results?
Yes. Maybe Mercury really was trying to cheat on Saturn, as the square is a difficult aspect. However, it was very interesting way in the news, this aspect.
Yeah. Saturn is to stop something, Mercury is to count. Yeah.
Exactly. So what is happening in this moment? So tomorrow, on the 11th of November, the Sun will make a conjunction with one star of art. So tomorrow we will have people who are born to be much more artistic on the 11th. And tomorrow also is a day, due to this conjunction of the Sun with this star, that will bring much more joy and love and artistic experiences and enjoyment for the entire world. So, special day. So we need this break, and because later, couple of days, namely on 14th of November, maybe you remember, Mars is reaching its strongest influence by turning from retrograde motion into direct motion.
So then it's when it's most powerful?
Yes, this is a station. This is one of his positions that are very powerful. And in this way, he will be tending to resolve past conflicts and works. Mars being so strong is a good thing for people ruled by this planet, like Joe Biden, who has Sun in Scorpio and the Moon in Aries. Again, one of the reasons for predicting his win is that Mars is becoming strong. The ruler of his Sun, the planet of honors, and the planet of the government, the Sun in Scorpio, his ruler becoming very strong. So, however, this turning of Mars also can mean, and probably there will be much more civil unrest and conflicts.
I noticed that when Mars has been retrograde and then it turns direct, usually last time it was on those degrees when Pearl Harbor was attacked, when it turned direct after that. So after the retrograde motion is when the biggest problems tend to happen somehow.
Yes, Mars in that time is ready to act. So Because this day will be also combined with black moon, invisible moon, it's a day of higher mortality and maybe more crime. So be more careful on this day. Better not to start new things, but to rest in your home if you can. Because much more conflicts can happen on this day for everybody. People who are ruled by Mars can suddenly explode into conflict because of things that they had on their minds long time. Suddenly they can burst into anger, for instance. So this can be for many people, this can happen. So many conflicts can happen.
Like they were holding it back till now while Mars was retrograded.
Yes, but almost exploding. So, and of course, this can be seen also on the streets as political conflicts in USA and many other things, like even
Around the world, no?
even danger of terrorist attacks, different places. They are happening. Those things are happening in Europe, in Asia, and because of the strength of Mars, still this is possible. Like the danger is on its highest intensity in this moment, 14th of November.
Okay, watch out, people.
And the good thing is that people who are not ready to act in the way they should suddenly will find their strength back and their motivation. And this is for all of us, because Mars is direct. Now people will start to do things much more. The period of wondering what to do will become much more clear.
Oh, thanks God. I'm just worried because become direct in my third house. I was biting my tongue till now. Now I'm just gonna I don't want to say my opinions because I'll lose a lot of people. But so I hope I can bite my tongue more.
I think for you it's especially beneficial, this position.
Thank you.
Because of ruling very important places in your chart, Mars will make you more successful.
Thank you. I'll be keeping my truth for myself.
Okay. So, so what else is going on? After this difficult moment, because of the invisible moon and Mars very strong, 14th of November, then we have a very interesting day on 16th of November. Venus is making a strong spiritual combination with the spiritual star by joining Spica. So this is a special combination. Venus with Spica is considered to be giving extremely strong results. And those results are towards peace, harmony, and balance. So which is very interesting that right after the age of Mars, Venus is making this extremely strong peaceful combination, spiritual combination on the 16th of November. This day will be a day much connected with spirituality, kindness, and compassion, especially and love, especially for people, of course, who are ruled by Venus. So as you can see, people ruled by Mars will have their moment, but also so are the people ruled by Venus. So these are in fact 4 signs, which is 1/3 of all people. So because of this, between 14th and 16th, every third person will have some important events, allowing him to express himself in a very strong way. Definitely. So, and Venus coming after Mars's influence is good because the opposite is more destructive. And this day is very spiritual, the 16th, because Mercury also is on with a spiritual star on this day only. So we have Venus and Mercury, two planets that are much spiritual, connected with spiritual stars, exactly in this moment. Okay, so whoever wishes may use this for spiritual practices.
Candles in the bath.
Yes, many people will have much more understanding coming to their minds in those days.
Like insight, illumination, and stuff like that.
Yes. So then on the 17th, next day, Venus enters her own sign, which is Libra. And then till the 12th of December, she is staying in her own sign. So because of this, she will give much more peace and harmony, which is now something that is lacking. You can see it also on the news, of course. So much more peace and harmony and love. A powerful position of Venus between 17th November and 12th of December. People who are ruled by Venus will do much better in those days. So, you know, people who are artists, young, beautiful woman, whoever has his ascendant ruled by Venus. So in Sidereal, these are Taurus and Libra. Transferring this to tropical, this will be people who have ascendants Gemini and Scorpio. Unexpected. So those people will enjoy the most, especially the last one. So it's like a spiritual row of days, as Venus is with the spiritual star. First Mercury also, then Venus enters her sign. And a little later, on the 19th, another spiritual star is rising. And this is Vega.
Oh, it's becoming visible.
Vega will bring much, again, more spirituality, kindness, compassion, but also healing. So that's interesting. Maybe I will look if some company really will achieve some more success about things like vaccines, or important steps will be taken towards overcoming this pandemic crisis in that time. Literally on the next day.
Until the eclipse comes and kills off people with vaccines. The eclipse on the Scorpio thing.
Oh, you're so destructive. I see that Mars is really becoming stronger through your personality. Okay. So,
No, I've been always into conspiracy theories since I was 15, so I would always go on the dark side.
And 20th of November is very good for every work related to art, by the way.
Oh.
Mercury conjoins a very special star, so this time people who are ruled by Mercury will be blessed with more love and happy events in their life. 20th of November. And now I wish to say about some special combination forming on 22nd of November. So on this day, the sun is close to some healing stars in the sky, and so is the moon, being in different place with different healing stars. So both the sun and the moon on 22nd of November, I already gave this day to people who were intending to make things like initiations in Reiki, for instance, or starting important procedures about healing. So 22nd of November is good about those things. And for any kind of healing process that you want to start, this can be also spiritual healing and literally healing of the body. So it's a very special day about those things. Use it.
Yeah, maybe a prayer for healing, meditation for healing. Yeah.
The moon will be in a constellation, lunar constellation, that in India is known as the 100 Healers name.
Shatabish.
Exactly, yes. Yeah. So it is supposed that there are 100 stars which have healing influences when the moon is there, and at the same time, the sun will be with some healing stars.
So also to go to the doctor for a right diagnosis and for the right prescription.
Yes, so they're doubling their this healing energy, the sun and the moon together on this day.
Right.
Still, this energy is somehow present, not so strong, but also on the next day. And on the 24th of November, Mercury joins a lucky star, which is connected with art and love. And this is again very good for everyone who is ruled by Mercury. Common people, but also writers, journalists, especially writers about art. Then we have on the 25th of November, Jupiter enters Capricorn. We talked about it. So Jupiter entering Capricorn immediately probably will represent a difficult situation for the people ruled by Jupiter, sorry. And from moral point of view, and also some events for the world will show such moral type of crisis going on.
I think it's been one big moral crisis this year. I don't know if it can get worse than that. My God.
Just look for the news coming from 25th.
I will, and if it doesn't, tropical astrology all the way. Okay. No, I totally respect Sidereal. It's just like I see it with tropical so clearly as well. The science speaks so much to me. Anyway, sorry, carry on. No arguments, carry on.
For some astrologers, Jupiter also represents wealth, and going into sign of debilitation, I don't think is good thing, especially when happening so close to the lunar eclipse in the sign of finances. Only 5 days later. Okay, let's see what else is interesting. So to not lose the good side of things, on the 5th of December, the next powerful spiritual star will rise, Deneb. And we will have already in the sky 3 powerful spiritual stars shining and protecting.
I like that. Thank you.
No matter what's going on, the spiritual powers represented by those stars will be present all the way. Like Vega never sets, almost. So
good.
They represent different kinds of helping energies. Okay, so after all, there are good things.
Until December comes. Well, they'll be staying visible, those spiritual stars.
Yes, they will be visible a long time. Months and months.
And in December, Trifon's going to make a video that will talk more generally about 2021 to prepare us, hopefully more positive as well.
Yeah, of course.
And he still has a 20% discount on all his services, I think for another 2 or 3 days. I'm not sure. Check out, I'll put a link below if you'd like a personal reading with Trifon. He's a wonderful astrologer. And thank you so much. Sorry if I was emotional at times. I'm just, because I've been reading people fighting on the, everyone was saying their opinion, but it's just like the energy, you feel it. You feel like everyone is so fired up, and I got fired up as well.
Yes, yes, yes. This will become stronger because of Mars becoming strong these days, right?
Yeah. Mm. Thank you so much for joining. I love you all. Please, please remember, be kind to each other. And you know, at the end, good always wins. And at the end, God protects us. So hopefully, whatever is coming, even the financial stresses, that we'll pass through that.
Yes, those spiritual stars that are rising, they are in fact showing the highest forces of good involved in giving protection. Even in ancient Persia, some were connecting the planets with more earthy affairs, and especially the stars with the celestial, heavenly, or more divine involvement, the highest powers.
Awesome.
Okay,
Thanks.
so the highest spiritual powers will be present to protect and to guide.
Yes, and we have choice whether we react from a higher spiritual position or from the other lower stars.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you, Stefan, again.
Thank
Love
you.
here again. Have a great week, and see you again in 2-3 weeks with the December forecast. Bye bye.
Bye.